Figuring out what gear to bring for a backpacking trip can be overwhelming, especially if you're a beginner. I'm going to show you what's in my pack that I use for a weekend trip. Now, I don't normally hike alone, so sometimes we share gear and Greg will carry some parts and I carry some, but I'll let you know what that is. If you're new to our channel, you know that actually you probably don't know, we do a lot of camping, but this summer we especially did a lot of backpacking trips. I am currently using a Hyperlite Unbound 40. This is a newer pack. I actually got this at the beginning of summer. The pack I used before was the Osprey Aura 50, and it was a really nice pack. But when you're going on those longer hikes, it's a little bit more adage to the weight, which is why we went with the Hyperlite, because try to lighten my loads. The Hyperlite Unbound 40 is actually a 40-liter pack, but with this super stretchy bit on the outside, I get an extra 10 liters. The unique thing about this bag is the material it's made from. It is waterproof, so I don't have to really worry about the stuff inside getting wet. I do have an extra thing inside that I'll show you later that helps keep everything super duper dry. On the front of the pack, I have my little phone pocket. I keep my phone in there, but I also keep Pop-Tarts. It's a perfect little pouch for snacks. I have my walkie-talkie, which I highly recommend. This is like the best walkie-talkie ever. It attaches nice easily to my strap. Next to my straps, I have easy to access my bathroom kit, which is basically for pee. It's the Pstyle pee stick. It actually is a little funnel, so that way I don't have to squat. I have the Kula cloth for any drippage, and then of course a hand sanitizer. These pockets are so big that I actually have my tent in here. This is just the rainfly and the actual tent body. Greg carries the stakes for me. That way we can distribute the weight evenly. The Big Agnes copper spur, it's the 3-person tent, so that gives us a little extra space. Next we have the chair. This is the REI Flexlite. This is actually my second chair that second chair that we've had. This was our original chair we started out with, like this, but it is heavy. This REI Flexlite is super lightweight. I think it's maybe a pound, but we also have the Nemo Moonlight chair. This is probably my favorite chair, a little bit heavy though. So if I'm going on a really long trip, I don't actually take a chair. This one sets up nicely. It feels like a normal chair you would sit in, and I absolutely love this chair. This is my go-to camp chair, but when I'm backpacking long distances and need a chair, I go with the lightweight one. We make sure that we have an emergency kit. This is your typical emergency kit. We did add an extra few things to it. We have our Benadryl, we keep in a little special container, and we keep it on the outer pocket of our bag, so that way I don't have to be digging all over for it. And of course, we have the Z Seat. This thing is perfect for a camp. We use this to toss it on a log, and then we're eating. And also we use it when we're setting up our tent, especially when we're doing our sleeping pads. We just throw this on the ground and kneel on it. That way we're not getting our pant legs all dirty. This thing is awesome and lightweight. On this pocket, since these are so big, I actually carry 2 water bottles. I actually have fit 3 of these 1-liter bottles into that pocket. It's so big. The nice thing about these little toppers is that, you want to get a quick drink. Don't have to worry about losing the lid. We actually ended up getting these toppers and multicolor so we don't mix up our water bottles. Blue, yellow, and red. If you're out hiking with a group and you're out there filling up water, it's nice to have the different colors because then you know exactly which bottle is yours. And for the last pocket on this, we actually have this tiny little pocket on the bottom, but it still stretches and gets lots of stuff in there. We have our headlamp, which is a BioLite. You have to have a light. The lights on your phones are not gonna suffice when it's out in the middle of the woods and it's pitch black. And then we have our rain skirts. This thing is a little bit of a lifesaver, especially in the Pacific Northwest where it's super rainy. Even when it's not raining, a lot of times the shrubberies have a lot of moisture on them. When we were up at Ozette Triangle, we actually it was actually raining and we put these on and they saved our pants from getting wet. And bonus feature is you can put this on the ground and put your pack on top of it. Another thing that we carry, I haven't actually had to use this recently since I've been fortunate not to be attacked by mosquitoes and bugs. And this easily puts over your hat if you're wearing a hat. And we've actually used this kayaking. I mean, so there's multiple uses. This is really good to have, especially if mosquitoes love to eat you. And we have our bathroom kit, our other bathroom kit. This is toilet paper and some doggy bags. Greg actually carries the shovel for if you have to dig a hole. You need to pack out your toilet paper with you, and then again, some hand sanitizer because gross. I forgot to tell you about the front pockets. So on this side, I keep my snacks, so easy access to it. And then on the other pocket, I have my phone charger and my medicine if I need it. Easy to get to. Lastly, on the outside of my pack is my buff. These are also great to dip in water, especially cold water if you come across a stream, and you can wrap it around your neck. One last thing that I always take are my trekking poles. I could attach them to my pack if I want to, but almost 9 times out of 10, I'm always using them. If you have bad knees, like I do, or lose balance easily, these are a really good thing to have. So now let's show you what's inside my bag. The nice thing about this, and I had to get used to it also, is it closes a little bit different than the Osprey because there is no zippers. It actually folds down, so we have a strap on the outside, which if I needed to, I could expand it and shove like a bear can, or if you wanted a different sleeping pad, because it expands pretty high. You can shove some stuff up there. We actually ended up shoving our tent up there once because it was a little bit wet and didn't want to get everything else wet. One of the first things I have on top is a raincoat. I especially roll it a special way so it goes right into the hood so it's easy to get it. But since it's at the very top, it's easy to grab. This is an outdoor research rain jacket. I honestly don't remember the name of it, but absolutely love it. We'll put all the links for everything that's in my pack down in the description below. Next is our cook kit. This is actually a Talkie 650 milliliter titanium little pot. Nice thing about this is everything fits right inside of it. We've got our BRS stove. This is actually the little ittiest bittiest little stove you could find. I'm sure there might be smaller ones, but this is pretty darn small. We got our tiny little Bic lighter, and we have our fuel canister. We like to put paper towel in between it so that the canister, if it's been sitting on the ground, you're not gonna get your pot all quite filthy. But that fits all right inside of here. And it's pretty lightweight. I don't actually have our food in here. A lot of times, depending on our trips, Greg will end up carrying the food. But for Mount Rainier, I did carry my own food, and it was almost 4 pounds of food because it was a 5-day trip. Next up, we have our extra water filter system. This is in a dry sack, so that way if we have to use this, we can put it in and it won't get everything else wet. What it is the little bag and the filter itself. Now this is our secondary kit. We actually use the Be Free as our primary water source, but it's always nice to have a backup in case anything should happen to our primary one. I have my puff. My primary heavy coat was a Nano Puff by Patagonia, but this, it packs up super small and it's supposed to be a little bit warmer. I've got my clothing bag, and depending on how long the trip is. I have my absolute 100% favorite shirt ever is my Outdoor Research sun shirt. I think this is called the Astroman. This thing is awesome. Not only do I wear it hiking, but I actually wear it to bed too as an extra layer. I bring an extra pair of shorts, an extra shirt, some base layer pants in case it's cold. I can sleep in those as well. Extra pair of socks and some underwear. Next, I have my bathroom bag. It has my toothbrush, toothpaste. These are nice little travel ones. This is the cheaper ones, but nice thing is it expands, so it's easy to use. I've got some little mini deodorant in here and some Tylenol and an itchy stick, just in case you get bit by a bug. Next up, we have a hat and gloves because you never know when the weather might change. It's good to have just in case. We have our pillow, which is the Nemo pillow. It actually fits nice and it's compact, pretty small. This is considered a luxury item, but I have to have a pillow when I'm sleeping. It fits actually into my sleeping bag. There's a special pocket. It pulls out and got a pillow. You blow air into it, put it in your sleeping bag. Awesome. We have our Nemo Tensor insulated sleep pad. I absolutely love this sleep pad. It's a little bit more delicate, but packs up small and is super comfortable. It is on the expensive side, but a lot of times REI will have sales and you can get them at a pretty decent price. Lastly, I have my sleeping bag, which is the Nemo Forte, and it's a 20-degree bag. I do sleep a lot colder, so I like to have that extra warmth. The nice thing about this is it has a built-in hood, so you can cover it up, and also has this little blanket-like thing, so you kind of get your whole body covered up. The one thing about this bag, since it is synthetic, it is heavy. It doesn't pack down very small. Greg actually normally carries this, then I carry his bag because it's a lot smaller, but this is what I use. And finally, we have the Nylofume plastic bag. It actually is just a plastic bag, but we've had this for all summer long. I've put a lot of stuff in it and not a tear in sight. Yes, you could use a plastic bag, just a normal kitchen garbage bag. This is cheap and it works really well. That's everything in my pack. I hope you found that helpful. If there is something that you do that you should think that I should try, please let me know in the comments below. Go watch this video next. You can find us at exploretrekadventure.com and we'll see you next time.